So in this video, we're going to look at the multiplicative property of equality with fractions. Okay, so we're going to solve equations just like we've been solving them before, but this time with fractions. So for example, solve 3/8 x equals, that's really far away, equals -6. Okay, so again, my game plan when I go to solve an equation is I look for the variable. So here's my variable, x. X is being multiplied by 3/8. So I'm going to want to divide both sides of my equation by 3/8. And so then when I do that on this side, I end up just with x. And then remember, we're going to do keep, change, flip. So -6, change the multiplication, flip the fraction to become 8/3. And then 3 goes into 6 2 times. And so in this case, I have -2 times 8, so x is going to end up being -16. So let's try another one. So here's a good example. Maybe -10/7 equals 2x. So again, here's my x. It's being multiplied by the 2. I want to get the x all by itself, so I'm going to do the opposite of the multiplication, and the opposite of multiplication is division. Whatever I do one side, I have to do to the other. So on the right-hand side, we just get left with x. On the left-hand side, we're going to do keep. So keep the -10/7. Change, so change from division here. So we're going to change the multiplication. And then we have to flip this bottom fraction. And you might go, wait a minute, how am I going to flip it? It's just one number. But if you ever have just one number, you can always think of it as over 1. So that bottom fraction is really 2/1. So when I flip it, it becomes 1/2. And now 2 goes into 2 one time, 2 goes into -10 5 times. So we end up with x is going to be equal to, on the top I have -5 times 1, so that's -5. And on the bottom I have 7 times 1, so that's 7. So x is going to be equal to -5/7. So that's another example. So we'll try one more here. So maybe 4x/9 equals -16. So remember, we did this before. I can kind of rewrite this and think of this as the fraction -4/9 times x. And that usually helps people out to see what's going on. So now if I look at this, x is being multiplied by the -4/9. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide the left-hand side by -4/9. I'm going to divide the right-hand side by -4/9. And so now the left-hand side, these cancel out. So we have x equals. And then again, we're going to do keep. So keep the -16, right? Keep the first, change from division to multiplication, and then flip that bottom fraction. So it's going to become 9 divided by -4. And then -4, right? This goes in one time. It goes in here 2 times. Oops, not 2 times. It goes in 4 times, right? 4 times. -4 times -4 would be -16. And so we're just left with x is being equal to 36.